South Asia.
But you actually see that Alonso, the floor of Alonso's car actually touches Charles Leclerc and hits it on the halo. So I'll play you guys the clip here from Sky Sports F1 on Twitter, and they kind of zoom it in a little bit here. It was a bit sort of tough to see on the broadcast just because the camera was a little bit wider, but this one you can see that they zoomed it in. So you see as he goes flying over the top, huge damage to the side here too. You know, I can't tell if that was liquid coming out of the side or just, what do you call it, smoke. But you can see here, if I pause it right there, it's a bit trickier to see, but Alonso does actually land on that front part of Charles Leclerc's halo. This was a tweet actually from from Leclerc post-race in which he says, "End of the race in the first corner, frustrating. Never been a fan of the halo, but I have to say that I was very happy to have it over my head today." Personally, obviously, I think if you guys have seen some of our previous podcasts that we weren't a fan of the halo. I think a lot of people still aren't, and even myself included. You know, I definitely agree. It doesn't look great. It's sort of not what the sport has been throughout its, almost 70-year history. It's always been sort of an open cockpit a series, but with the unfortunate accidents with Bianchi and then IndyCar, Justin Wilson, Dan Weldon, stuff like that, I think that they really looked into moving more into improving cockpit safety. And after seeing a crash like this, I think we can sort of end the halo debate. I think we can really put it to rest now because we've seen it now implied. We haven't really seen it being used too much, thankfully, this season. Maybe in Canada with the Stroll and the Hartley incident, but that was, sort of more of Hartley's tire just kind of roughly brushing it. But this was sort of the first incident where we've actually seen the bottom floor of a car or any bigger piece of debris actually hit the halo. And I'll pull up a picture because they showed Leclerc's halo afterwards. You can see that there's, some pretty significant damage, of course. Some serious sort of paint scuffs there you can see with the gray over the white halo. But when you look at the halo itself, it looks structurally intact, which is what it's meant to do. So, they obviously did a lot of testing before this, and we all heard that, yes, they can, withstand a two-story London bus or double-decker bus, whatever it was. But now we know for sure that they can withstand, a Formula One car landing on top of it. So this is really good news, I think. You've heard a lot of comments from drivers, Rosberg, Alonso. A lot of these guys are praising the halo, thankful that it was there, like Leclerc says. So I think that we can finally maybe put this to rest. And I agree with some people out there on Twitter and social media saying that it still doesn't look the best, but at least it's safe, and we can assure driver safety. We just saw it last weekend with Robert Wickens in the Pocono race. If you guys caught a little bit of the IndyCar action, yeah, it didn't look good there for a while. It looked very reminiscent of, Dan Weldon accident in 2011, and through those 45 to 65 minutes where we didn't know the status of Robert Wickens, you didn't have a good feeling watching it because, people have watched that before, and if you're older and you've seen, the Greg Moore incidents and stuff like that, then you sort of know what that feels like, and it didn't really look good. But thankfully, he is okay now in the standpoint of he is awake, he's breathing on his own. He had a couple of back surgeries and more surgeries to come, so I think a long road to recovery for Wickens. But one of the first things I thought of after I said that is, how much would have a halo for IndyCar changed that accident? Of course, he got caught up in the catch fence there. So how much would a halo have come into play in that accident, and would it have maybe lessened the impact for Robert Wickens? So I think that's that on the halo, but really thankful that in this case it did what it was supposed to do.